And we're live.
And it's setting it up.
And we're setting it up.
Oh, now it says on my end, we're now streaming live on Facebook.
And now we're live. Oh, I just saw it come up here. So I can share this to my page.
Yep. Okay, so we got that. We got to share this.
Okay, I shared it. I think I shared it.
Denny Loose shared it.
Okay.
Good job.
All right, I can close that down.
Come on. Come on.
How about open a beer?
There you go. That's how we know it's real. Okay. Got to share it now to my page.
Nice dark
beer.
Foaming up like a mother. Hey, it wouldn't be a Tap to Craft pour if it wasn't all foam.
That's you've seen the meme if 2020 was a beer, right?
That's half of a 20 ounce. It's a 12 ounce can.
Oh geez.
I gotta get that right. 12 ounce can. 20 ounce glass, and it's half a foam.
It looks so pretty in 1080p. All right, so we'll open that up. We are in full screen mode.
Oh.
We're back, and we're live. Okay, Josh, how is it hanging, guys? All right. So currently 4 people on here now. I believe you and I are 2 of them. Looks like Josh is the 3rd, and we'll see who pops up with questions. So
I don't think I closed out Facebook, so I don't think I'm on. So
we got
show me on?
We got 6. So here's the thing. I really wish it would show me, or if I'm just not finding it, where it is.
This beer holds a head too.
Okay. Mike Allen. What's up, buddy?
Ah, Mike.
All right. So, yeah.
Well, should we get started?
I'm ready when you are. I got to pull my notes up here. Need my sunglasses. Well, this right here. This light level is untapped. This light level is Facebook. And then this light level is our outline.
All right.
So I'm ready when you are. Jeff Seiler, happy Monday.
Jeff, yes, thank you.
All right.
So now you're ready?
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm.
All right. Clear my voice. Welcome, craft beer friends, to Season 7, Episode 11 of Tap to Craft Podcast. I am Denny Loose, coming to you from Boise, Idaho, and my partner in craft, the dog whisperer, and my favorite Florida man and homebrewer from Tampa, Florida, Mr. Kris McKenzie. How you doing tonight, Kris? And, of course, what is in your glass?
Denny, it has been probably the week of all weeks to actually call this week 2020.
Okay.
If I could kind of title this week, I would have set this week on fire.
On fire, meaning,
and not in a good way.
Okay. I was trying to. I was like, wait a minute. I thought it was going down the bad road, but maybe it's turning a U-turn and making it good. But I guess not.
This I'll tell you what. This week, without using a ton of profanity, this week can go blank itself.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
But other than that, man, I'm doing really good. Jason Fraley, I see you on there, buddy. It's a good buddy of mine from high school.
Oh.
And tonight I am drinking a beer from locally here in Tampa called Dead Awake. There you go. That's showing up pretty good. From the folks over at Magnanimous over in Tampa. And it is an imperial milk stout with coffee and vanilla. And it's a little on the sweet side, but man, is it good. It really is good. I think the Imperial side definitely made it a little sweet. It's a little on the thick side too. But you know what? I'm still gonna drink it. It was a gift.
Oh,
it was a gift.
Hey.
It was a gift from Megan.
Oh.
So, her and our friend Tina went and had a girls' night, and they went over to Magnanimous a few days ago, and they brought me back beer.
You know, you've got a great wife because she always brings you back gifts when they go out on girls' nights.
Yeah.
Or girls' trips.
Girls' trips, girls' nights. They should do more of them, and then I probably get more presents.
Yeah.
What about you, Denny? What's in your glass tonight, and how are you doing?
I'm doing okay. I'm actually feeling pretty good. I was a little tired before we got on, but you know what? We're going live, so I have to bring my my A game. So
yeah, doing it live.
Yeah, but this is my mood, kind of like I'm in midnight. You see, constant midnight, right? Dark cloud over my head. But this is from Pelican Brewing, and I haven't had this beer. I haven't even taken a sip yet. I just bought a 6-pack of this, and I thought I'd break it open, have my first one on air live. It's a cocoa porter, 6% alcohol by volume, 30 IBUs. So let me take a sip and see if this thing is. It smells chocolatey and portery.
What does a porter smell like, Denny?
It smells. It smells kind of like I don't know. I don't know. That's a good question. I mean, it's not quite a stout where you're going to get that dark roasty notes. It's a little more than toasty than what you get from a brown ale, but it's kind of like in between that, right? It's like a extra toasted maltiness. This one, I think it smells like that toasty notes with some cocoa in there. It definitely has a lot of cocoa in there.
Okay.
But I'm also kind of getting a little bit of something else in there too. It's like almost metallic-y, but it might be that taco salad I just got done eating.
Well, either that or it might still be a little warm.
I mean, a little warm or
well, the beer might be a little too. I'm sorry, the beer might be a little too cold.
Cold, yeah. So I'll take another sip and see how it tastes.
Okay. Well, while you're doing that, Jim Kudzall, Eric Brendel, good to see you guys on here this evening. But yeah, you have to let me know how that goes after it starts to warm up a little bit.
So the second taste is better. I think it was just the initial taste. I must have still had some taco salad in my palate there, and it didn't like the cocoa-ness. But yeah, it's tasting more chocolately and lighter. It's good.
Yeah, new word of the night, #cocoa-ness.
Cocoa-ness.
Cocoa-ness.
That's right. All right. Well, hey, we got a bunch of people that are watching us live, so let's go ahead and get started with this show. But in case you are new, in fact, new listening and watching us on Facebook right now, Tap to Craft Podcast is an educational podcast. We focus around celebrating all things craft beer because we want to assist you, our listeners, along in your craft beer journeys and adventures.
Oh yeah, me too.
Choke up.
Me too. Yeah, this beer's a little thick.
A little thick. Yeah. All right. And you're listening to episode. Oh, go ahead, Chris.
Yeah, sorry. So I'll be clearing my throat a little bit more than usual.
Yeah, I'm thinking that drinking the beer and then having, sour cream and some salsa and avocado and stuff, probably not a good idea to have all that phlegm in there because I might be choking up a little bit. But
it's all right.
We'll continue on.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah. But you're listening to episode 167. We're recording on Monday, December 14th, 2020. In this episode, we're going to discuss the difference between a Christmas ale and a winter warmer style beer. Might be a trick question, but we'll find out. And we're going to also add a couple more holiday recipes. We liked cooking with beer, and I thought you guys might like a couple easier recipes that you might be able to just dish up in a couple hours and enjoy this holiday season. So we'll do that and using Christmas ales. That's the theme of this show, Christmas ales. Of course, you can always count on some great beer conversation from Chris and I, and we're going to get started today. Now, Jim might get a little bit, he's listening live right now.
Yep.
But now is our session where I always love hearing from our listeners and hearing their voice by them leaving voicemails. And our buddy Jim Kutzel and his lovely wife Tara Carlson, they both left us some love, after last show. So Jim left it left it in voicemail form. So we'll go ahead and start Jim's 3 voicemails here.
Okay.
Sit back, grab the beer, and enjoy.
Hey, everybody. Jim Kudzall here. It's been a while, I guess, since I called last. In my glass, if you're interested, is a 2020 version of the Sierra Nevada Celebration. I like this. I buy it every year. Actually, my brother and I, we probably pick up a couple cases every year and drink it this time. I really enjoy it. It's a great beer. By the way, Tara and I, we were listening to you live when you were doing your recording for the last episode. We appreciate the behind-the-scenes goings-on. I guess since we were actually on the show before, we kind of know how the sausage is made in that respect. So, and I hope that was a treat, and I hope you can do it again. Maybe you could even make that a regular feature.
I like it.
Our ears were burning when you were mentioning our name. You talked about going up to Allagash in Maine. And we've been there before. It's a great brewery. It's a great tour. A lot of other breweries up there in Portland. One thing I liked about Allagash, I don't know if this is still the same as the way it was before, but if you go to the bar, if you go to in the tasting room, and you go to the bar, you can get their standard sampler flight. And it costs $6,
which is a good price.
If you go on the tour is $5. You get the same sampler. It's like they pay you $1 to take the tour.
Is a tour that bad?
I highly recommend taking the tour. It's a great tour. And whenever this COVID stuff is over, I'm looking forward to being able to go with you guys up there.
For sure.
That would be a real treat for us.
And me too.
A little bit of news here. Tara and I recently celebrated our 33rd wedding anniversary.
Congratulations.
And I have to admit, I get married late. I was 35. I guess maybe that's not that late these days, but back then, that was kind of late.
Okay, that's the end of the first one.
Okay. Well, before you get into the second one.
Yeah.
One thing I just posted on this Facebook Live video, guys, we would appreciate it if you would share this on your wall, on your personal page. That way we can get out to a lot more people. So please click share underneath of our video. We would really appreciate it. And comments that came in, Jeff Seiler, love the Sierra Nevada celebration. Mm-hmm. Jim actually said, glad you guys are going live again.
So now he's turning it off because we're
or whatever he's doing. So I guess on to the second one.
All right, here's the follow-up. Of course, as my phone turns off.
Well, this is Jim again, part 2. We were talking about my 33rd wedding anniversary, and I think I mentioned I was 35 at the time, so you can do the math and see where I am today. Of course, Tara was much younger than I was at the time.
He still is.
I think these days, the kids, and I consider kids anybody under 30, anybody under 50.
Yes.
They're getting married much later than back in my day. But In fact, my children, my immediate children, I don't think they seem at all interested in getting married at the moment. Now, to help us celebrate our anniversary, my friend Marty, he gave us some beer from a brewery in North Carolina called the Weeping Radish. And currently they're in Grandy, North Carolina. They were in a different place way back when, but Tara and I actually visited this brewery on our honeymoon. At that time, they were on Manio Island. That was in the Outer Banks of
that dog
North
is
Carolina.
angry. It's my neighbor's
And
dog.
if anyone's interested, I posted a picture on the Tap the Craft Facebook page of us, our wedding pictures there.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, one of our wedding pictures, along with the beer. Well, they were in a different location back then. They were on Manio Island. But good beer. I think I rated it, a 3.75 at the time. They still follow the German Bavarian purity law. No additions on any of their beer.
Wow.
For 33 years.
Back here in Maryland, we were looking forward to going out and visiting more breweries, but back here in Maryland, things are starting to clamp down again. So we're not going out as much as we'd like to. Our check-ins are down.
Don't blame COVID for your low check-ins.
All right, that's into number 2.
All right, before you get into that one, Joey, Eric Gronley, Bill Worley, Matt Helmer. Hello, everybody. Glad to see you guys checking in with us. Yeah, don't let COVID ruin your check-ins, Jim. That's a poor excuse, sir. I expect more of you.
Yeah, you can still drink at home, but although he's going to talk about in his last voicemail that he's probably drinking at home. That's why he's not going out.
That's fair. That's fair.
All right, so last one from Jim. Talks about a little home brewing in this one.
Mm-hmm.
Jim again, part 3, the last part. I think I was saying in Maryland, they're clamping down again, not going out as much, so our check-ins are down, but I think, hopefully in the spring, things will pick up again. We'll see. It is very disappointing, though. But on the home front, I'm getting ready to keg a Belgian quad. It's been fermenting for 4 months.
4 months.
10%er.
Tara said, "This is why I married Jim, so he can't drunk dial me."
In the winter. Also getting ready to brew a brown ale.
Nice.
In a couple of days. So I've got some painting I need to do downstairs first. But once that is done, then I'm going to commence with that brewing the brown ale. And one final thought. My daughter Haven, who some of you already know, she's moved back in with us temporarily. She's a government employee, federal government employee. She works for NASA. And she has an apartment in Baltimore City. However, she doesn't like being alone all the time, so she decided to move back in with us so that she has human contact. We're glad to have her here because of the COVID restrictions. Actually, she brewed up a batch of apple cider that we're ready to keg in a couple of days. So as soon as she gets back. So anyway, keep up the good work. We enjoy the program and looking forward to the next episode. Thanks for listening.
I hope I didn't kill it.
And cheers.
Oh, and cheers.
Cheers, Jim.
Cheers, Jim.
Well, a lot of good information in there. For one thing, I can appreciate when a tour ends with a beer flight that's included in the tour price, and it's cheaper.
Okay, I did read that right. The flight was $6, but if you take the tour, the flight is $5.
The tour costs $5, and you get a flight at the end of the tour. I mean, that's a good deal, right?
Why? You know what? Good.
Good. I'll take the tour twice, so I get twice the samples. But yeah, for one thing, you can't go wrong there, and it's even a good tour, he says. So I love a good brewery tour, and I love when the tour ends with beer. So that's good.
All right. So Jeff Seiler chimed in and said the Weeping Radish is North Carolina's first craft brewery. They are amazing.
Yeah, and that's the other thing. It's amazing that 33 plus years that they've been operating that brewery, they've been following the same purity laws that the German breweries follow in America, especially now when everyone is all about the big hazy IPAs and the pastry stouts and the milkshake IPAs and all this other stuff that adds all these adjuncts, and they're still putting out beer that just tastes like good old-fashioned beer.
Oh, and he said you can drink more on the tour also.
Hey, I'm all about Allagash. I can't wait. Wait. We need to get up there. So,
oh boy.
Okay, so that's the other thing. And then I've already congratulated Tara and Jim on their anniversary. That's great. 33 years is fantastic. Sarah and I are getting ready.
Cheers to that, guys.
Yeah, I'll raise my glass to that. Cheers.
And Andell just signed on.
Oh, wow.
Popping in and saying hi. Josh said it's been weird drinking at home the past few months, that he's missed his bar crawl trips to the different bars around the Youngstown, Ohio area. And yes, Josh, a milkshake IPA sounds good. NGL. Not going to lie. Okay. Sorry. It might be a good gateway for you into the beer world.
Yeah, it might be. I mean, I don't know. I'm kind of mixed on the milkshake IPAs. I keep trying them, but I'm kind of not enjoying them as much as I thought I might enjoy them. So.
Are you getting lactosed out?
Yeah, it's the lactose. I think it's just too much, and I've had a couple lately that is just reassuring me that I'm just not into those lactose heavy IPAs. I'm just not digging it as much.
I'm with you. I had a milkshake style IPA a couple of days ago, and as soon as we heard that from Joel the other day, he's like, it's like that sucralose, like that.
Saccharin.
Saccharin. I'm sorry, that saccharin, that artificial sweetener flavor.
Mm-hmm.
Now I taste it.
Yeah, it's definitely present. I just had a beer last night. I won't. You can go look at my Untapped if you want to find out what I rated it. I rated it very low, and I don't rate beers very low. And this was almost a drain pour. And I've only drain poured one beer in my entire life. I can drink almost everything. I drank this beer, but it was very difficult. It literally tasted like it smelled like, you know how you go and you get a vinyl shower curtain and you open the bag and you pull it out and it smells like that new vinyl smell? That's what it smelled like.
That's like a Band-Aid almost.
Like a Band-Aid, but like a vinyl Band-Aid. Yeah, like a vinyl Band-Aid. And it smelled like that. Well, guess what? You drink it and it tasted very much like that too. And it had a lot of lactose in it, and it had like a brownie mix in there, and it tasted, it was like chemically bitter and with a flavor and taste of vinyl, like a vinyl shower curtain. It was just nasty. So
this came from locally for you.
It's a local beer. Yeah, it's a local beer, and it's. I mean, I don't know. I'm kind of probably just going to steer away from that brewery for a while, just because it's not the first one I've had that I've been disappointed like that. So, oh well.
I love Jeff Seiler's comment on it. So I'm not going to read the brewery or anything. Big lactose and dry brownie mix aroma that comes across like a new vinyl shower curtain. By the way, Megan loves that smell.
Oh my gosh.
Not in a beer, but just the smell in general. Honestly, it doesn't ease up in the flavor. Reminds me of Bitrix additive used for children from ingesting poisonous liquids.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have released this beer. And usually, and correct me if I'm wrong, John, if you're hearing this, a couple weeks after we release this, correct me if I'm wrong, but that vinyl Band-Aid smell and flavor is normally an off flavor developed in the brewing process.
It is an off flavor, but I think in this case, it's just a combination of the materials they use, right?
Yeah.
They literally used brownie mix. They said that's what it was made with. And they put lactose in there, and they put cacao, it put a bunch of different things in there too.
Mm-hmm.
And I think all that just kind of came across and just gave off this weird fake aroma that I did and taste that I didn't like. And Bitrix is exactly what I felt like, that Bitrix bitterness that you get when it was just like a chemically bitter character. So yeah, I don't know how I got sidetracked on that beer. Just lactose. We were talking about lactose. So, yeah. So again, a beer that had a lot of lactose in it that I wasn't feeling it.
Amanda Argauer just signed on with us too.
Oh,
I'm sure Kevin's right there next to her too.
Yeah.
Hi guys. But Denny, the comments that you got on this beer, they've been freaking great. Now, one of your friends, Nate, he said, "Good to know creativity can be too much sometimes with beer." And then Jeff Seiler, vinyl shower curtain. Damn, that's brutal. Sounds awful. You're pretty tough to power through on it. Cheers to you. Rick said, "I couldn't agree more with your last sentence." Tara Carlson, I'm amazed at what you managed to drink.
Yeah, I did it. I drank the whole thing, and then I quickly went and grabbed an IPA and rinsed my mouth out.
Use an IPA to do that.
Yeah. So, all right, and then the last thing was the brewing beer. I'm glad that Jim is still brewing beer, especially during the COVID time, and fermenting a quad for 4 months. I didn't realize that quads took that long to ferment, but it makes sense, right? You need to get as much of those sugars fermented as possible. But 4 months seems like a long time. I don't know if that. I've never. I mean, John and I brewed a Belgian dark strong ale, and it didn't take 4 months to brew that one out, and it didn't fully. We did have a little too much sugar in there where the yeast kind of ran out of steam, and it did come out a little bit sweeter than we wanted up front, but over time it kind of mellowed out as it aged, and I think even at 3 or 4 years later, it was a really good beer.
Yeah. He said 4 months, right? Not 4 weeks.
4 months. Yeah, 4 months. That's a long time to ferment a beer.
That's a long time.
But it must be a big, it's going to be a big quad, and he's going to be sipping on that thing. Him and Tara, he'll be drunk down.
He's going to be drunk dialing you in the house, Tara. Hey, Tara, Jim.
Yeah. So, all right. Well, hey, I just want to say thank you, Jim, for leaving us a voicemail. Leave us 3 voicemails because we do appreciate it, and we love hearing all the good things to say, and yeah, please keep doing it. And if you would like to be like Jim and leave us a voicemail, you can do that very easily. Just call us at 208-536-3359 or 208-53 if it's easier for you to remember, and just leave your comments, questions, and feedback. Any other things on the comments there?
So I kind of not broke my screen, but I.
That's okay.
Okay, there we go.
I can.
No, I got it back into my laptop because it's I can't. So okay, wait, getting it. Scroll it back up. Come on, you can do it. You can do it. Okay, I'm gonna close that out because it's messing with me. And we got to go back into it. But while I'm in here, Kevin Argauer did make his way on here. Liz Blanchfield, good to see you. I believe you're checking in from Vermont, if I remember correctly. That's where you're living. Jim said most of that is just aging, 10% ABV. That's a hearty beer for that. Okay, good. I got everything back. Yes, that's what I was looking to do. So I was trying to since I've got this like giant screen in front of me, I'm gonna do a split screen on this screen, so it's basically like me having 3 monitors.
Okay, it looks like you're getting a sunburn from all that.
No, that was me fishing on Sunday.
Well, good. Well, let's thank some of our listeners here. This episode is brought to you in part by our satisfied Patreon supporters like Mike Allen, who is on live with us, and Willem Schlimmer, who are both our virtual producers. We've got Tom Byrne, Jeff Seiler, Johan Halberg, Tara Carlson, Chad Lamassa, and Mark Church, who want to buy us a virtual beer. And if you enjoy the content we provide, we invite you to support the show by toasting your host or buying us a virtual beer, and even being a virtual producer. You can explore the options on our support page by visiting patreon.com/tapthecraft. And we also we just started another way of, if you guys just want to support us in a more passive way without actually spending any money to us. If you're doing shopping on Amazon and you're going to buy some stuff, we have a link on our homepage, a little banner ad that if you just click that, takes you to Amazon, and you just buy your stuff like you normally would. You're not going to pay any more. You're going to get the same Amazon price, but a small percentage of that purchase will go into our affiliate account, and that can help support us also if you just want to do that. We welcome it. I think some people have already been using it. We really appreciate it. We don't, and the other thing is we have no way of knowing who buys what, so don't worry about any privacy issues. We don't know. All we see is the products and the amounts that the product or the products and then when they get shipped, and then we see a percentage of what the amount we get, and it's literally pennies, but those pennies add up, and before you know it, we have $10 a month that we can use to help make the show better.
Yeah.
All right. You know what? We've got more feedback, this time from the lovely Tara Carlson, who wrote us an email. Chris, since I've been chatting away, we want to go ahead and read Tara's email.
I certainly can, and this one I'm very proud of because there's a recommendation in there from something I made a couple of episodes ago. So Tara Carlson wrote us an email. She says, I've always avoided winter warmers. Much as the same as I used to avoid Belgian beers, but now, knowing that I could make cookies if I didn't like it, I decided to branch out. Yeah, I think Tara, you'd be a good one to pick your brain for beer-related episodes as well, or beer-related recipes. Oh, by the way, this 22-ounce bottle was 11%. That's all that's left. I'm sorry. That's all I'm gonna say.
Okay.
And she said, I picked up Sierra Nevada's Celebration and Bell's Christmas Ale. Hey, I like them. Turns out they're not really winter warmers. I think I don't know the difference between winter warmers and Christmas beers. I did pick up Port City Tidings Ale, described as a Belgian-style blonde ale brewed with honey and spices. But so far, it does. So far, I reach it around it to open up another Celebration. You always got to do a quick reach around for it. Anyway, I wanted to say that I do like the occasionally drifting of the podcast into the culinary arts. I've lived in Maryland my whole life, but it took Chris and Tap the Craft to introduce me to J.O. spices. We haven't actually cooked any crabs, but the spices are going into shrimp, fish, soup, veggies, and hamburgers. I almost put it in the turkey stuffing at Thanksgiving, but eventually decided to go traditional. I'm coming to your house. That's all there is to it. That's all there is to it. Thank you for the podcast and the beer education and the occasional cooking tip.
Yeah. So there's no surprise that today's topic is brought to you by Tara Carlson, because she asked a question that everyone wants to know. What's the difference between all these holiday ales, these Christmas ales, these winter ales, these winter warmers? Well, guess what? We're going to explain that in our Brew Buzz segment. So just hold on tight, and we're going to get into the differences and give you some recommendations that we enjoy. I mean, we've given some already, but we'll give you some more. Now, I want to go ahead and do a quick little summary from our last show or recap. We did go over a bunch of different recipes, and I mentioned there's a couple that I wanted to try right away on the following weekend. The two I was going to try out were the holiday ale cookies and the beer sangria. The beer sangria I was only going to do if Lagunitas brown sugar was available. I think it is available in certain areas, but it's not available in my area right now, at least right now. But if it does come available within the next few weeks, I'm going to pick up a 6-pack or 2, and I'll go ahead and try those beer sangrias. But I did spend my last Sunday, or actually Sunday before last, making the holiday ale cookies, and I videotaped it, and I just today posted the video on our YouTube channel of me video going through the process of making the cookies, and so it's about 13 and a half minutes. I did speed up some of the stuff, so that some of the stuff is going at 2.5 times speed just to make it go faster. But it's kind of fun to listen to some Christmas music in quotes. It's not it's kind of holiday spirited music in the background, and me talking my way through the process and seeing me make the cookies. And I will tell you, these cookies were amazing. I thoroughly loved the cookies, and I'm not a cookie fan. And I think the part of the reason why I love them so much, they weren't too sweet. I don't like sweet things. These were like enough sweetness that it wasn't like bitter. They were nice, balanced. They had as you watch me do the video, I kind of zest the hell out of an orange, and I put that orange zest in, and the orange comes out a little bit strong. So if you don't necessarily like orange zest flavor, just do half of the amount of orange zest. Do a half a tablespoon, and I think it'll be fine. But I didn't mind it. I usually don't like so much orange or citrus stuff in my food, but this worked well with the spices. I mean, it's blending in with the allspice, the nutmeg, some clove, and really made a fantastic cookie. So I loved them. Then I wasn't planning on giving it away to anyone. My wife decided to take a dozen to school and give them to her teachers. And all of her teachers that she gave it to love the cookies too. So now I'm a famous baker, I guess, here in Boise.
Yep. It's a hard load to carry, but you can do it. I know you can do it. I did.
Yeah. So
I was gonna say I did just post our Amazon link on our Facebook page and in this live video here too.
Okay. All right. Well, let's finish up. If you want to be like Tara and leave us voicemail, leave us an email with your questions or comments, just like she did. You can do that easily. Just leave it write us an email at tapthecraft@gmail.com. Or if you want to comment on some of the beers that we're posting on Instagram or on Twitter, you can do that. Just follow us on Twitter and Instagram at tapthecraft. And of course, our Facebook page, which you're at right now, if you're watching live, facebook.com/tapthecraft. And of course, our website, tapthecraft.com. I've got a blog. I've got our videos up there. I've got the podcasts. I've got, some shopping stuff. I mean, we got a lot of stuff going on the website, still growing, still coming together. I have some more pages that I'm planning on putting on there to help support the other podcasts out there that are important to us. So come visit often. You'll see the new changes. Okay, Chris. Now it's your time to shine because it's time to get the conversation started with our Untap the Craft segment.
All right. So, guys, remember, if you want us to read your check-ins from Untapped, make sure you follow me on Untapped at MCK1345. Okay. Michael Corbin just chimed in. Good show, fam. Thank you, sir. We very much appreciate that. And we're going to get into these check-ins. First is going to be from 5 hours ago from Johan Hallberg. Dude,
ooh, Johan.
I can't. It's a Keller beer. I can tell you that much.
Oh,
all the rest of
it's a German Keller beer, huh?
Yeah, ungespundet, not a trube. That's what I'm going to go with it. Yep. I'm not repeating that, that's what I'm going with.
Yeah, it's a German beer.
Yep. So nice Keller beer, a bit on the sweet side, perhaps. Probably wouldn't drink several liters of it, but it has a lot of flavor, and the maltiness is really nice. With a little luck, Mr. McKenzie will speak a bit of German on the podcast tonight. I love that you guys are setting me up for this. Thank you.
Yeah, I think it's coming on purpose now.
Yeah, good. Bring it. I have no problem making an idiot of myself on video or just through the podcast, the audio. William Schlemmer is drinking a Merry Christmas and Happy New Year, our special ale 2020 from Anchor Brewing. Say no more, Denny.
Love that beer.
Yeah, it's a very good beer. And he wrote exactly that. Great beer. 4.5 caps for that one. Simple and to the point. Johan again is drinking a Boss Tweed by Old Nation Brewing Company. Quite different from the soft and juicy M43 NE. This one has a bright, bitter bite to it. That's fun to say. Bright, bitter bite. And 2% higher ABV, of course. Getting lots of mango and peach, both aroma and taste. A fair bit of bright hop notes that really make it pop. Hint of hop burn. 4.5 caps for that beer from Boss Tweed. Jeff Seiler drinking out of his B cups, which it's always going to be a good beer when it's in a B cup. Drinking a Lake Erie Monster by Great Lakes Brewing Company. Very good beer. I forgot how much I love this beer. It's a classic old school double IPA. Absolutely delicious. So glad I found this, quote, old friend. I gave that one 4.5 caps for that beer. Art Warchek is drinking the Ghost in the Machine by Parish Brewing Company. No notes, 4.5 caps. Everybody's rating some really high beers today. That's good. Stephen Brown, I just had this beer the other day. He's drinking the Xmas Pickle from Urban Artifact.
Oh.
And he said, Beer Advent Calendar Day 13. Not for me.
No.
All right, that's okay. To each
not
their
for
own.
everyone. Not for everyone.
Each their own. So Michael Corbin also wrote, I'm not much of a drinker, but I saw the show live, so I popped in to support the homie. Thank you very much. We always love homie support.
Thanks, Scarfinger. Yes, I appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Let's see. The next one, continuing his check-in streak for, I don't know, week 92 in a row, it feels like. Chad Lamassa is drinking an Imperial Extra Double Stout by Ailey Coke. At Untapped at home. Not sure how I feel about this one. 3.25 caps for that beer. But I believe he makes up for it in a check-in here soon. John C. is drinking a Crustfall by Boulevard Brewing Company at the Olmsted Parks Condominiums in Ohio. Very sweet with great peach and berry flavors, some pie crust, and nice and smooth. A little syrupy jammy, but he picked this one up at the Giant Eagle in the Westlake Market District. 4.25 caps for that beer. Jeff Seiler, gotta say I like this beer. Big Bad Baptist Pecan Pie.
Oh, I had that one. Yeah.
Did you?
Oh, yeah. It's one of the ones I had on my new Noteworthy a while back.
Okay. All right. Now, Denny, how do you say the nut that I just said? How do you pronounce it?
I say pecan.
Okay, because you're smart.
I know. we had this conversation on the show.
I know.
We had the same conversation.
Yeah, we did back when me and some friends went to Georgia. It's all right. The Big Bad Baptist Pecan Pie by Epic Brewing Company. Love Big Bad Baptist. The pecan pie is another barrel-aged winner. Pecans, coffee, chocolate, and Christmas spices. This beer is a perfect beer for a cold, snowy night. 4.5 caps for this rating.
Yeah,
I think this is getting to be a very there's a pattern I'm seeing. 4.5 caps rating, because next Cody A is drinking a KBS Maple Mackinac Fudge from 2020 this year from Founders Brewing Company. No notes on this one, just 4.5 caps for that beer. Yeah, here's your redemption, Chad. Drinking a Gloops Chocolate Imperial Stout by Pools Island Brewing Company. A nod to Augustus Gloop from Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. Creamy chocolate milk and an Imperial Stout. Very nice. 5 caps for that beer. He
nice.
definitely made up for that last one. JC, I got to read this one, man, because this is one that, man, I'd love to get a hold of. Bourbon Barrel Aged Sexual Chocolate by Foothills Brewing.
I just want the regular sexual chocolate. I just want the regular one. I'll just take that.
Yeah. little sexual chocolate, and even better, he's drinking it out of a sexual chocolate glass.
Wow.
So,
He's
good
got
on
the
him.
full meal deal.
Yeah. 4.5 caps for that beer. Go figure. Let's see, Mike Allen, since you were on here earlier, let's make sure we get yours in. Christmas Ale by Bell's Brewery, 3.75 caps. Pretty good Scotch ale, he says. Let's see. Next on the list, Mark Connor, Stone Sublimely Self-Righteous Black IPA by Stone Brewing.
That beer's back. That they discontinued that beer.
Well, according to, oh damn it, why'd I click that? According to this,
I think it's in their. I think it's in their winter sampler pack. I think.
So it's, according to their notes on Untapped, first brewed in 2007 as the Stone 11th Anniversary Ale. It was an instant hit.
Which I have a bottle here.
Yeah, with us. Other folks with great taste, that'd be you, loved it. But we were focused on how much we liked it, and we felt it was truly sublime. I mean, the most recent check-in that I've seen, somebody bought it at Target. That'd be interesting. 23 minutes ago, 20. I mean, there's a lot of check-ins, so I don't know if this is coming out of a multiple.
So they brought it back. They must have brought it back. This might be the first Stone beer that I'm willing to buy this year.
Okay, so
I haven't bought Stone at all because I'm not been into them.
The box that I'm seeing it in is the 12 Days of IPA, so it looks like a multi-pack. Yeah, so some people are checking in 12 Days of IPAs, day 2, and Mark said 11 days left. It's been quite some time since I've had this. Still a damn good beer. Seems a little more malty than I remember, but tasty. Guess what the rating was, Denny?
4.5.
4.5 caps. Yep. Yeah. Like I said, there's definitely a trend going on, and I hit refresh.
I need to check mine. I need to check my rating on that beer because I think I gave that a pretty high beer.
All right. Well, let's check that, and then we will. Let's see. I don't have any check-ins. What about friends? Friends. Mark Connor, Johan, Tom Byrne, Craft Beer Joe, Jameson, Robert.
I gave it a 4.
All right.
Back in 2013.
Yep, and you said, yes, a beer for those who appreciate good, strong, and bold flavored beer. Weak-hearted, stay away. All right.
Yeah, that was when Stone was making
screen printed bottles.
Good choices in their beer. The choice they made bad was to get rid of that beer because that was one of my favorite beers to drink. And when I got rid of it, I think John and I had some words on the show that I was a little bit upset about them getting rid of it.
All right. And last but certainly not least, William Schlemmer is drinking a Dirt Nasty by Microphone Brewing at the State Street Station. Great dessert beer, very rich, pairs well with chocolate desserts. And it's got it's showing an imperial stout, but also it's got like that the Oreo cookies and the gummy worms on the front. So it's imperial milk stout, dirt cake inspired imperial stout with gummy worms, sandwich cookies, vanilla pudding, and lactose. I'd imagine that's very much like the beer I'm drinking right now.
It sounds like too much.
Yeah.
What was the rating?
4.25 caps.
Oh, okay. Well, he liked it. That's good.
Mm-hmm. And that's what everybody's drinking.
Microphone's that brewery that was doing the ice cream beer. The beer made with ice cream made with beer. So not surprising.
I'll refresh one more time. Oh, jeez. Let's see. Cody A is drinking a Ball by New Anthem Beer Project. 4.25 caps for that one. Art Warcheck is drinking a bourbon barrel-aged cookies and milk by Noble Beast Brewing at his favorite check-in, North Phil Harmstead. And he says, "Go Browns!" 4.25 caps for that beer as well. That's what everybody's drinking.
Okay. Well, on that note, I'm going to get into the Brew Buzz. And the Brew Buzz is devoted to discussing various beer-related topics. And this week we discuss the Christmas ale. Actually, let me redo that. And this week let's talk about the difference between Christmas ale and a winter warmer style of beer, and add a couple more holiday recipes for you to try using Christmas ales. All right, so Christmas ales typically come out around September and last through December to January timeframe. Winter warmers, also including winter ales, are supposed to be released after January 1st. Now, I know there's a lot of breweries out there that just release winter warmers whenever, right?
Mm-hmm.
This is just, some rules that you can follow or not follow, but this is typically what is thought of a winter warmers after January 1st. Okay. And I say this is not strictly followed. So I'm going to spoil a topic right now and tell you the punchline up front, that they are all winter seasonal ales. So let's get into the details. there's no difference. All these are the same, except that Christmas ales have a little bit different character than winter ales or winter warmers. But they're all winter warmers. They're all winter ales. Just Christmas ales can be a little bit different. So I'm going to start it off here, Chris, with according to the BJCP, the Beer Judging Competition Program?
Beer Judge Certification Program.
Certification. I always mess that up. They'll never let me be a BJCP judge because I can't get the acronym right.
I know. Right. You got to get past the BJ first, and then after that, you'll be all right.
I see the BJ, I'm just totally sidelined, sidetracked. All right, so according to the beer judging guys, they say this is a winter seasonal beer category. They're beers that suggest cold weather and Christmas holiday season, and many may include holiday spices, specialty sugars, and other products that are reminiscent of mulling spices or Christmas holiday desserts. The overall impression of these beers is a stronger, darker spiced beer, often has a rich body and warming finish, suggesting a good accompaniment to the cold winter season. Overall balance is the key to presenting a well-made winter seasonal beer. The special ingredients should complement the base beer and not overwhelm it. I think that's a key too. And this is what's different. I mean, people may be asking, well, what's different from an autumn fall beer that's like a pumpkin yam beer, pumpkin beer versus a Christmas season spiced beer? Well, I think the main difference is the pumpkin spice ones typically are like way over the top, and the Christmas ones are a lot more subdued. And I tend to like the Christmas ales better than the pumpkin, but just because I don't like that heavy dose of spices. So that's just my take on that. The brewer should recognize that some combinations of base beer styles and special ingredients work well together, while others do not make for harmonious combinations. If the base beer is a classic style, the original style should come through in the aroma and the flavor. And that's another key thing is don't make a beer that you can't taste the base style, right? That's totally destroying what the whole purpose of this is. It's supposed to be a base beer. So if you're making a brown, you're going to taste that brown, and you're going to have little spices that are going to be in the background. Same thing with the Belgian. There's a lot of Belgian winter ales and Christmas ales that you get that full Belgian style, whether it's a blonde or a Belgian dark strong ale or any kind of or maybe a strong golden ale. You're going to have that base beer, and you're going to have just a nice little hint of orange peel in there with maybe a little clove, maybe a little allspice. I mean, just a subtle hint of that stuff. And that's the key. Whenever spices, herbs, or additional fermentables are declared, each should be noticeable and distinctive in its own way, although not necessarily individually identifiable. So you can put them in there, but they don't have to be like pronounced that that these things are there, right? They're going to be there to kind of, balance everything out and it just, help the beer come across kind of like the Dr. Pepper. You know how Dr. Pepper has 27 ingredients? You can't taste all 27 ingredients, but those ingredients come together to make something that's really tasty. That's kind of like what I think of this is. All right. So in other words, the beer should read as spice beer, but without having to tell that specific spices are present or even declared. All right, Chris. So now, why don't you go ahead and dive into what are winter warmers?
Yeah, the winter warmer term is a generic label used to describe many winter seasonals. The beer's brewed to keep us warm during those cold days when we're kept inside. Originally, the style revolved around two types of beers. The spiced wassail, a traditional drink of hot mulled or spiced cider, wine, mead, or beer, utilizing cinnamon, cloves, allspice, nutmeg, and traditional Christmas ale. And the strong English ale, which is malty and a bit more hoppy. The wassail features classic old-school flavoring via nutmeg, allspice, cloves, and other cooking spices. The strong ale focuses on the hops to add a spice to the brew. Winter warmers are called Christmas or winter ales. Let me say that again. Sometimes winter warmers are called Christmas or winter ales. Sometimes they're barrel-aged, and many times they feature added sugars such as maple syrup, molasses, honey, plums, raisins, orange peel, cranberries, spruce tips, and more.
Mm-hmm.
That sounds good.
There's a lot of variety.
Yeah.
That's why there's so many different types of these, and they're all, you might like one and may not like another because of the stuff they put in.
And as someone mentioned earlier, somebody quoted me, which was nice. If you didn't like one, try another one. You just didn't try the right one. More American style winter warmers are maltier versions of IPAs and double IPAs with no spice added. I didn't know that. That's pretty interesting.
A lot of times that's what Tara was kind of saying, right? With the celebration. The celebration is an IPA, but it's a maltier IPA.
Yeah.
And it's a fresh hopped IPA. So those fresh hops add a little bit of hoppy spiciness to the beer with that malt base. So it's an IPA, but it's a little bit, winterized and a little bit higher ABV too for a winter time. So Celebration is a fantastic beer, but it lends itself more to the IPA than a traditional Christmas style ale or a wassail ale.
Mm-hmm. All right, just real quick too, Dave Garcia, I see you popped on here. Thank you for the phone call earlier today. And Wito, good to see you, buddy. So we'll get into some, also the ABV on this beer. The ABV can vary from 5.5% to 8.5%, and some up to and beyond 10%.
Yeah, it's a wide range. Typically between 5.5 and 8.5 is where you'll see most of the winter ales. It's the winter warmer ones that are going big and dark, imperial. Those are the ones that are going to be at that 10% or above, and they're going to warm you up, right? That extra alcohol is going to keep you warm and sipping that beer all night long.
Yeah, I don't mind when that happens either.
Yeah.
All right. So you want to do the examples?
I'll do half, and I'll let you do the
other
half. All right,
thank you.
Okay, so here's some examples, and most of these are ones that most of these are ones I have and I enjoy. I added a couple that I know that Chris enjoys in there, but Chris, feel free to add extras that I didn't put in here.
Okay.
So the first one's already been mentioned in our Untapped segment, and I'm going to mention it in our Noteworthy segment, but I'm going to mention it now first. Is Anchor Brewing's Our Special Ale, Christmas and holiday, Christmas, New Year, Our Special Ale, blah, 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 whatever it's called. The style is more like a strong English ale. Man, the stuff the flavors that you get every year, it's a little bit different flavors in this beer, but they're always really good. I've never been disappointed in this beer. In all the years I've had it, I get it every year, and I thoroughly love this beer. And this year's version, probably my favorite, one of my favorites. I say that almost every year, but this one was out of this world. Love this version. So what's interesting is you can get Anchor in a lot of places around the country, not every state, but I'm seeing people check into it, on the East Coast, on the West Coast, and in between. It seems like Anchor gets around quite a bit. The problem is that this beer does not stay on the shelves very long. As soon as it comes out, like the first week, it's gone. So I guarantee that right now, if you haven't picked it up, you probably aren't going to get any Anchor Christmas ale because it's probably off the shelf. Next one was also mentioned by both Tara and one of our listeners. I think it was was it Mike Allen that mentioned Bell's Christmas Ale?
Yeah.
It's and that one is. I don't think I've had Bell's Christmas Ale, but a lot of people have mentioned this one, so I put it on the list. And it's a Scotch ale. Now, I don't know if it's a Scotch ale that adds some extras to it, or if it's strictly just a Scotch ale, which is interesting. So, do you know, Chris? Have you had one? Or remember?
If I have, it's been a very long time.
Okay, no problem.
We've definitely got some people kicking in some ideas, and Jeff, hold on to those because they're most of those of those are on our list.
Yeah. So I'll keep going through here. So again, here's a Belgian brewery that I bought I have the carton back here, but I got a winter sampler set with a glass, and I've been drinking out of that glass on Untapped. You'll see my glass on there. This is Brasserie de Achouf, and this is their Nice Chouf, which is a Belgian dark strong ale with spices. I haven't had this one yet. It's in my fridge. I was hoping to have it yet last night, and I drank a couple other things instead, so I'll drink it this week. But I don't remember if I've had this one before or not. I've had a lot of these beers on tap in Israel when I'm visiting Israel during the wintertime, especially. I drink a lot of these beers, but I don't think I've checked into this one. But that one has got it's highly rated as a good Christmas ale. The Schutz Jubilee, I talk about that all the time. It's an English strong ale style. The Full Sail Wassail, which I haven't been able to get in my area for years now.
Really?
Yeah. I don't know if they've just been selling it on premise in Hood River, but it has not been canned and coming to the Boise area. And I'm very sad because this beer is probably my favorite go-to winter beer, but I just can't get it. It is a wassail style, but it's so smooth and so good. You can just sit there and drink a 6-pack like in one sitting. It's just so good. But it's the Full Sail Wassail. It's fantastic. Then we have Goose Island's Christmas Ale, Great Lakes Christmas Ale. Those are wassail style. And then we mentioned in the last show Lagunitas Brown Sugar. Now it's an American dark strong ale. It was supposed to be, I think we looked it up and it was supposed to be, oh no, did we look it up and it was supposed to, I can't remember now, like last show. I think it was supposed to be a barley wine, and then they put the brown sugar in to save the beer, and it turned out to be more of a American dark strong ale after that.
Yeah, so it's coming up as a strong American strong ale.
Oh, American strong ale? Okay. Mm-hmm. I guess maybe not dark. It's kind of, if I remember correctly, it's kind of on a darker side, but not dark like mahogany or anything. It's like more of a...
It's like the color of a brown bottle, I think.
Yeah, a brown bottle. Yeah, that's about right. But, man, that beer is fantastic. And it's like 10% ABV, too. It's like big. And if it comes, I'm going to pick up a 6-pack, and I'm going to make that sangria for sure with that beer. All right, Chris, why don't you go ahead and hit the last ones.
All right, so the last side of this excellent example is the Lagunitas Holiday Sucks Ale. It's a malty IPA. Have you ever had that one, Denny?
Yeah. I've had it quite a bit.
Man, I don't know if I've even had that one.
Okay. Let me tell a story.
Go on.
Again, I'm all about the Lagunitas stories because, again, at one point they were my favorite brewery. So Lagunitas Brown Sugar, because it was so... it took up so much tank space and it was expensive to put the brown sugar in. They only released it every 2 years. So it was a 2-year rotation. And people were getting pissed that they weren't making every year. And so they came up with Lagunitas, or the Holiday Sucks Ale, because Lagunitas sucks because they're not making brown sugar every year. Right. So they filled in the odd years with the Holiday Sucks Ale. To fill in. So when brown sugar wasn't available, the Holiday Sucks Ale was, and they just swapped every other year. So I don't know how it's going now. This was back when, this is 10 years ago when they were doing this. So I'm not sure what they're doing now.
All right. And then from there, the Odell Isolation Ale. It's like a strong English ale. Mm-hmm. Odell's out by you, right? No, they're Colorado.
Yeah, Colorado. Yeah. Well, yeah, it's just a state away.
Yeah. Is it really?
Well, I mean, it's on the corner. So the eastern side of Idaho, and it mounts up to Wyoming, and then Utah, and then Colorado is right there on the corner.
Okay. So while we're finishing through this list, guys, if you have some favorite Christmas ales, winter warmers, winter ales that you like, put them in the comments down in this live video so we can read them, see if you have any ones that we have read, or also too ones that we didn't mention that you're a big fan of. So the Odell Isolation Ale is like a strong English ale. St. Bernardus Christmas Ale, always a good one for me. I like that one. It's a Belgian Abbey spiced ale. The Sierra Nevada Celebration Ale, which multiple people have mentioned this evening. It's a malty, fresh, hopped IPA. Denny, have you had a Celebration this year?
I haven't had this year.
You haven't had this year?
No, but I usually get it every year. I just haven't had it this year yet.
Yeah, it's definitely a good one. The Thirsty Dog 12 Dogs of Christmas Ale, straight out of Akron, Ohio. That's probably, if I had to go grab any of these right now, it's that one or the Anchor right now. Like if I had to grab them right now. Or Mad Elf is pretty good too. But the Thirsty Dogs 12 Dogs of Christmas Ale is a wassail style. Trogues Mad Elf, a Belgian spiced ale. That Mad Elf can be a little on the big side sometimes.
It's big. It's like a quad or something, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's like a big beer.
But they also do a handful of different variations of it, if I remember correctly.
Mm.
And it's great because the names that they come up with for them are fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
Denny, I can't believe you're letting me read this one. The Widmer Brothers Burr, the hoppy red ale style. You didn't get much of that at all?
No, I don't buy it anymore because it was big. It was one of my favorite beers when I was in my IPA stage, right? So everything was big and hoppy. And I find that I drink so many hoppy beers that I don't want to drink my winter warmers that are just all hoppy. So I tend to drink the ones that are more malt-based because I enjoy that malt character in wintertime. So that's why I haven't been drinking it much.
I can agree with that. And the last but not least, the 21st Amendment Fireside Chat. It's also a wassail style.
Yeah, it's a pretty decently spiced ale, but it's a good one, and it's ranked. I think it's ranked pretty high on the Christmas ale
on the Christmas ale top 10 list.
Yeah, I think it is on top 10. Yeah.
All right, so. A couple of folks have written in. Jeff Seiler, he wrote Jubile Ale, Christmas Lakes Ale, Thirsty Dogs, 12 Dogs of Christmas, Highland Cold Mountain, which is right over by him in Asheville. Some of the best winter ales. You've heard of comfort foods. These are comfort ales.
Exactly.
Very good. Very good.
Good
Jeff
job.
also mentioned the Trogues Mad Elf. Pair it with dark chocolate. It's amazing.
Yeah.
Damn it, I can't get Trogues down here.
Yeah, no, I can't get it either.
No. All right.
Is that it?
That is it. Yeah, that was it. Unless somebody throws one in there here in a little bit. But yeah, that is it.
Okay. Well, let's go over quickly a couple recipes, and I'll put these links in our show notes. So don't worry. Just listen to what we have to say. And if it sounds like something you might want to try, then just go to the website, click the link, and it'll take you to the recipe. And hold on. Let me check the recipe. Okay. These are both from Bell's. These are both using Bell's Christmas ale. But again, you can use any spiced holiday winter ale in place of the Bell's, and it should be fine. So the first one is the Bell's Christmas Ale gingerbread cookies. Now, you know how I'm a big fan of ginger and gingerbread, and I had to put this one in. So what I liked about this is that these were easy. There's no beer reductions necessary.
Good.
One of the big issues with making the holiday cookies I made a couple weeks ago was, although the beer reduction tastes incredible, it was 45 minutes to an hour for that to reduce down, that 12 ounces to reduce down to 1.5 ounce.
Holy crap.
A long time. So it's a lot of work. I mean, it drags on the whole process, an extra hour basically. So this one has butter, brown sugar, molasses, a half cup of Christmas ale. So again, not using a full. I like to have recipes that use a full bottle.
4 whole ounces, huh?
Yeah, this is getting 4 ounces, but it's not reduced, so it's a full 4 ounces. some salt, some cinnamon, some ground ginger, some nutmeg, an egg, baking powder, baking soda, and then, of course, a lot of flour.
Mm-hmm.
And the directions are pretty easy. Preheat that oven to 350. It says put some parchment paper on a few sheet trays. Mix together the melted butter. Now, here's the other thing. They say melted butter, and here's something for you, Kris. Back in your chef days,
I got your answer already.
Okay, what's the answer?
So go ahead and ask your question.
Okay,
because I don't want to be that guy.
We have never had good luck with, quote, melted butter. We've always had much better luck with softened butter that we just leave out on the counter and let it get soft and then use that in there. Anytime we use melted butter, it makes everything like clumpy
greasy.
And not as greasy and it doesn't adhere as well. And in these recipes specifically, they call it in both of them melted butter. What do you think, Kris? What would you do in this case?
So me specifically, if you're making cookies, you're going to be utilizing what's called the creaming method for cookies, where you take the fat, which is your butter, and your sugar, and you're going to whip the crap out of them. The crystals of the sugar is going to cut into those fat molecules, and it's going to put some air into your butter. Well,
Make it fluffy.
It makes it nice and fluffy, right? So if you ever take and you're looking, if you put sugar and butter in a mixer, let it go, it gets that real nice, fluffy, whipped consistency. I don't know why you would melt the butter, because then you got to probably cool down, especially gingerbread cookies. You got to cool down your dough anyway before you roll it out and cut it.
Yeah. Okay. So,
but whatever. I just train dogs.
Yeah. So we're all about the softening butter, not the
softened
melting
butter too. Yeah. So the softened butter, that's going to be just easier for your mixer to handle.
Yeah. That's true. All right. So you mix this butter, brown sugar, molasses, Christmas ale, salt, spices, and egg. Whisk in some baking powder and baking soda with the flour, and mix it into that Christmas ale mixture. Then divide the dough in half, wrap each in plastic wrap, and chill for 1 hour in the fridge. Here's another thing. What's happening when you chill this dough? It just makes it firm? Is that what we're doing?
It makes it firm. It's easier to handle, and then when you're touching it with your warm hands, it's not sticking to you. It's not, it's not thinning out even more.
Okay, good.
And I tell you what, honestly, if somebody was watching this video and didn't have the sound on it, just the would be even better. But it's going to be a little more firm, a little easier to work with. It's not going to stick as much when you throw the flour down, that kind of thing.
Okay. Then it says divide the dough in half, wrap each in plastic wrap, chill for 1 hour. When the dough is chilled, roll the dough out on a floured workspace to a 1/4 inch thickness. Now I like more of a ginger cookie cracker, like not biscuit,
crisp.
Maybe.
You like it more. You like it more crunchy than soft.
I like it crunchy.
Okay.
But I know a lot of people like their gingerbread more soft. What's the preferred way? Is it soft or is it crispy?
It depends. Like I like ginger snaps.
Yeah.
Right. I love those. But there's something about like that warm gingerbread that just.
Yeah, that's true.
Right?
That's true.
They both have their purpose.
Okay.
So I mean, I think it's a personal preference. If you like them crispy and crunchy, go for that. If you want that fluffiness, go for that too. Or that
softness. So if you like the softer ones, go a 1/4 inch. If you like the crispier ones like I do, make some with a 1/4 inch, and then make some with 1/8 of an inch.
Just be mindful. Just be mindful of your baking times.
Yeah. Okay, then cut out the desired shapes. Bake for 8 to 12 minutes or until the edges have browned and the cookies are firm. Cool completely. Decorate with icing, candy, or form into your very own gingerbread brew house. Yes. Yields 3 dozen cookies. So this is definitely a recipe I want to try because I'm a sucker for gingerbread. So I might do this one too during Christmas time with my daughter. Let her and I make some Christmas gingerbread. What do you think, Kris? Are you inspired to make any of these recipes that we've talked about the last 2 episodes?
So I'm looking at this next one that I'm going to read. I'm going, I might be able to get behind this because the day after Christmas, we're going camping again. So I'm going to need some food. And
to bring with you.
Yeah, so it's like some quick food, but this one sounds like it'd be pretty good. Real quick before I jump into this recipe, Eric Gronley mentioned a couple of winter beers or Christmas ales. Tip Up Winter Ale from Beaver Island Brewing in St. Cloud, Minnesota. It's brewed with smoked German beechwood malt and spruce tips. Jubilale and Isolation are really solid every year too. And he said that he made a list on Untapped so he wouldn't forget to look for a couple this season. Anchor's Christmas Ale, going to have to hunt for that one. It's
be tough. Yeah, it's going to be tough. It's already too late. Sorry, Eric.
Samuel Smith's Winter Welcome and Bell's Christmas Scotch Ale are on my radar. Happy hunting, Eric. I hope you find those. All right, let's get into this next one, which is going to be Christmas Ale Cherry Chocolate Bread.
I know. I want to make this too.
All right. So you're going to need a half cup of dried cherries, one bottle.
One bottle. There you go.
12-ounce bottle, right?
Yes.
I like that I get to drink my beer and then cook with it. Eric said, no. Sorry, buddy. See if you can trade for it. Get some of that Drecker stuff we were talking about the other day, right? So a whole bottle of Bell's Christmas Ale, 3 cups of AP flour, 1 tablespoon of baking powder, 1 teaspoon of salt, a 1/3 cup of brown sugar, a 1/2 cup of bitter sweet chocolate chips, not milk chocolate.
Not milk.
Bitter sweet. Not
it's gotta be
milk
bittersweet.
chocolate.
Yeah.
Okay. That milk chocolate will just be
key.
way too gross. And 4 tablespoons of melted butter or 2 ounces.
Melted. I don't know. Would you melt it for bread?
Butter.
Yeah, just soften it, right? Yeah.
Because I'm gonna do the same method for that as I'm gonna do for the cookies.
So I have a French. I use a French butter thing. It's like a
go on.
Put the cube in there and you put it upside down and it keeps it in the.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. It's got the water on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But so it's always soft. So I can just stick my tablespoon in there and dump it out. The reason I couldn't do that for the cookies because it called for 2 sticks of softened butter, so I just put the 2 sticks on a plate and let them.
That's how I know you guys aren't in the South, because we just have a stick of butter and a glass little plate sitting right by the stove. It's always ready. Yeah. So for this one, 4 tablespoons of melted butter. I'd put it in just softened butter because I'm kind of looking at this recipe. You know what? I'm sure it works out. Go for it.
Yeah.
Do it the way they say, or do your own thing. You're going to end up throwing everything in the bowl anyway, but you're going to preheat the oven. In a bowl, you're going to soak the dried cherries in Bell's Christmas Ale for 20 minutes. And then if you're a real beer person, you're going to drink that beer after the cherries have soaked in it.
No, you put the whole thing in. You don't drain the cherries.
Yeah, Denny, duh. I knew that.
But you're gonna drink a beer while you're doing it. But
okay, so you
don't drink the beer and the cherries because that goes into the bread.
You need 2 bottles of Christmas ale. Okay, in a mixing bowl, combine your flour, baking soda, salt, and brown sugar. All right. Add the beer and cherry mixture to the flour mixture. Okay, so we're just mixing everything together. What is the melted butter for? Fold in the chocolate chips and 3 tablespoons of melted butter. Reserve 1 tablespoon. Okay, this
for the top.
All right, this part right here, this I could understand it because first off, you need the butter to incorporate rather quickly because if you're folding in the chocolate chips and melted butter, the more you stir that flour, the more gluten is going to develop and the tougher your bread's going to be.
Oh, okay. So
this
one you want to melt it then.
Yep,
okay.
Melt that butter.
Okay.
In a well-greased loaf pan, spread the dough to fit the pan. Brush the remaining 1 tablespoon of melted butter over the top. Bake for 45 to 50 minutes at 350 degrees until it's golden brown and delicious. Remove from the pan immediately and allow to cool 10 minutes before slicing. I might make a couple of those.
Yeah,
but I don't know if I get Bell's Christmas Ale. I'm going to need to go to Total Wine and More.
You got to find some Christmas ale, some spiced Christmas ale.
You know what's weird? I don't find it down here. I don't.
Any Christmas ale at all?
Like we find some local stuff, but I'm you know what? That is now my mission. Okay. Because that's going to be my mission. I'm going to go find some Christmas beer to make some Christmas food to take on a Christmas camping trip.
Make it all Christmas. Yeah, that's good. That's good. I have one comment about, Eric Gronley mentioned spruce tips, and I mentioned spruce tips as one of the ingredients that can be in a Christmas ale. It's amazing how polarizing spruce tips can be to people's palates, right?
Mm-hmm.
Some people like myself love spruce, right? I'm a huge fan of spruce, juniper. I mean, I love those flavors, and I love those flavors in alcohol, and I love them in my food. But some people don't like it, and I do. I've had some really good spruce tipped IPAs and spruce tipped winter ales and stuff. So yeah, give them a try. You might like them. If you don't like it, don't feel bad, because there's a lot of people that don't like them. All right, Chris, since you just got done chatting, I'm going to go ahead and go through my new and noteworthy beers. I only have 3, and 2 of them have already been mentioned by other people.
Oh,
in their things. So
well, before you get into that,
yep. Whoa.
Which did you choose?
Did you not read my comment? I chose almond butter.
That was 2 hours ago.
I chose almond butter, and I prefer creamy, but I can eat the crunchy if necessary.
All right. This was just something that kept dinging on my Facebook.
Oh.
People are just reading through it. What did you choose? What did you guys choose? Creamy or crunchy? This is a debate in our house. So
who likes crunchy and who likes creamy at your house?
So I like them both.
Mm-hmm.
Megan's like the creamy side. Megan, because she said growing up she always had crunchy, and she's just over it.
So when I was a kid, we had either or, and what I didn't like about the crunchy is it would tear the bread to hell when I tried to spread it. So I ended up eating more creamy because it was easier to spread.
Okay. All right, guys, you can chime in on this one too, but we're going to get into our new and noteworthy beers.
All right. So I'm going to go quick because we've already talked about the first one. Anchors Brewing's Merry Christmas and Happy New Year, our special ale 2020, 5-cap rating from me. Absolute perfect beer, in my opinion. Enough said. I don't want to make Eric cry because he can't get it, so I don't want to go too far.
Okay.
Next one was one that one of your new or untapped followers didn't like.
Yeah.
Urban Artifacts Xmas Pickle Goza.
Yeah.
And man, so far I've only had 2 Urban Artifact beers, and both have been very good. And I love this one. I gave it a 4.5 cap rating. It is the perfect blend of dill and cucumber. It's not really, there's something else too. I'm trying to remember what I said, but it was a perfect blend of those flavors with the tartness and the saltiness. Everything went really well together, and I just absolutely love this beer. And this was sent to me by Joel Bigham from Fermented Reality. And I drank one because I'm not sure if he wanted to do this on air for the Fermented Reality beer cast or not. So I drank one to taste it, and I'll hold out in the second one until I learn what he wants to do with these beers.
Yeah.
But you also enjoyed this beer, right?
Oh,
Chris?
I did. Yeah, I did. Megan did actually. Joel, Megan, and myself, we tasted this one on our last episode of Day Drinking at the Beer Garden.
Yeah.
And it was simple, right? It was very simple. It was tart. It had that kind of that savory dill flavor to it. But it was, I remember we were talking about like this would be great with just like a ham and cheese sandwich.
Yeah.
That would just be so good. And I don't know if it comes around here at all. He normally, anytime we ever do that show, where it's always just like, where the hell did you even get this stuff?
Did he have does he have someone bring him in?
I'd imagine he does. Like the stuff that he gets isn't normal things that you see around here. So when he brings out stuff, it's normally like that mustard beer that we drank, that French's mustard beer from Oscar Blues. He said that actually came from someone's personal cellar that knew his distributor rep. Like, okay. I'm not sure what he's saying when he's talking to these people, but I'm glad he does.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was really good. I'm glad that you were able to try that one as well.
Yeah, I have one more can I'm going to enjoy too at some time.
Well, I can tell you, I don't have any cans of it, so I mean, if you want to go ahead and, I don't know, hold on to it. Wait till we record our next episode.
I'll hold on. Maybe he just sent it for me to try because you guys already had it and wanted me to enjoy it. But yeah, I did enjoy it, and I'll enjoy the second can too.
Yeah.
All right, and my last beer is from the La Chouffe Brewery, in Belgian brewery, the Blonde Belgian Strong Golden Ale, and this is a Christmas style ale with some honey and spices. Man, this is a fantastic beer. All these La Chouffe beers are really good. I have 4 altogether that I'll probably end up having on this list next week or next show. But I gave this a 4.5 cap rating. I mean, really solid, delicious Belgian golden strong ale. Really good. All right, Chris, how about you?
All right, so I did have a beer over at the beer garden. It's from Ballast Point. And we don't really talk about Ballast Point beers on here too often. This is the High West Barrel Aged Victory at Sea from 2018. And of course, anytime I'm at the beer garden, I take an obligatory shot of me holding a beer and text it to Joel. Hey, we're over here having beer. And he goes, make sure you get some of that Victory at Sea. And I was like, I've got this beer in my hand and then I got to drive somewhere. All right, you know what? Let's just have it anyway. 4.5 caps for that beer. It was just boozy and chocolatey, and oh my gosh, it was so smooth. Even with it being as boozy as it wasn't hot or anything like that. It was really good. It came in a 6-ounce pour, but man, that was all I needed.
Yeah, I don't need more. Yeah, I was checking to see if I've had it. I hadn't had that one. I had some other ones, but I hadn't had that one.
And then one beer that I got from my buddy David Campbell, which he picked up off of Tavor for me before I started into that nonsense again. The Rusty Nail from Fremont Brewing, their 2020 version, which I gave a 5 cap rating to.
Wow. You don't give 5 caps very often.
I don't. I'm very picky about my 5 cap ratings, and this beer specifically, my brother called me out on this one because he was reading the picture that I posted up with it. It's a bourbon barrel-aged imperial stout with licorice and cinnamon bark. The first time I had this beer, Denny, I believe I had it at Hunapoo Day here in Tampa, and I didn't know it had licorice in it. And I'm glad I didn't, because if I saw that it had licorice in it, I probably would have skipped it.
Yeah, it's not that strong.
No, it's not.
It's very mild. Yeah.
It really is. But my brother texted me and he was like, "Well, you had me until licorice," and then I was like,
"So I'm not a big licorice fan either. I won't eat licorice like candy or anything,
right.
But I don't mind it in beers if it's not overly powerful, right?
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of the star anise and licorice stuff in beer is done really well, so it's very subtle, and it just enhances the flavor.
Yeah. But man, I really enjoyed this one. It went down real easy. Just 5 cap rating. That's what I'm going with, man. Yeah, it was just really, really good. And the last one I'm going to talk about, I had this past Saturday. Went over to Coppertail, had their Hopskull 13, which their Hopskull series in general is just solid. I've had a couple of them, I believe, like number 9, number 11, and these are pretty good. This is a double IPA featuring Vic's Secret, Idaho 7, and Nelson Sauvin. Hops with golden naked oats. I was like, wow. You put the word naked in there, I'm going to try to drink it, I guess. But it just says Big Sauvignon Blanc grape notes with pineapple and pine coming through on the finish, and a medium malt backbone to pull everything together. It was really good. I gave it 4.25 caps. And honestly, the big thing that kind of caught my eye was the Vic's Secret hops and the Idaho 7. I was like, well, Vic's Secret is what Joel just put in their anniversary beer.
Yeah.
And then Idaho 7. Well, it's Idaho. It makes me think of you. So it's Denny and Joel put together in a beer.
It's like blended. If only the Idaho 7 hop was a better hop.
Yeah, and it was good. I definitely enjoyed that one. 4.25 caps for that one.
All right. Well, guess what, Chris? We're going to wrap it up a little bit early today. What do you think about that?
I'm okay with that.
I'm okay too. It is the holiday season. We don't want to be taxing our listeners with too much content during the holiday season, but it's now time to go ahead and raise a glass. So some people would like to raise a glass to. So Chris, who would you like to raise a glass to tonight?
I would just like to, first off, this is going to release here in a few days. On the 17th? Yep. Raise a glass to everyone who's been following us throughout the year. Happy holidays to everyone. I hope you're having a wonderful holiday, because the next time we record, Denny, this probably won't be released until just about the new year.
Our next episode after this releases on the 31st of December. So it'll be right before New Year's.
Okay. So happy holidays, guys. We're currently in Hanukkah. So cheers to all of our folks that celebrate Hanukkah. Merry Christmas. Happy holidays, guys. Thank you for another wonderful year.
Yes, for sure.
And Denny, is there anyone who you would like to raise a glass to?
Yeah. First off, I want to raise my glass to our Patreon producer, Mike Allen. Cheers, Mike.
Thank you, Mike.
Thanks for your support. Actually, and because it is the holiday, and I just want to give thanks. I want to thank all of our Patreon supporters. I know that you don't have to support us financially, monetarily, but we appreciate that you do, and it does help cover those operating costs. Any extra money that we get will be used to put back into providing gifts and just you know what, Chris? Talk about gifts. I think we're due for a giveaway, right?
We've got to be.
Yeah, so next episode we'll do the giveaway.
We did our giveaway. Yeah, we did our giveaway. You know what? I saw that a couple of days ago, and I was like, you know what? It's probably time to do a Brewer Shirts giveaway, because I actually bought some people some stuff from there utilizing our promo code, which we'll talk about in a minute. And I was like, man, it's got to be time, because we gave it away over our Labor Day episode.
It was Labor Day. Yeah. So so this month we're supposed to give it away. So we will have a giveaway next episode. And I don't know what we're going to do if we just give it away to our Patreon supporters. That makes it.
You know what? Yes.
Yeah, we'll do that. We'll do that as a special thank you for. So one of our Patreon supporters will be winning a Brewer Shirts
gift card or gift certificate. Yeah.
And also, Chris, your birthday's coming up on Friday, so happy birthday to you.
Thank you very much.
I raise my glass to you also. What are you going to turn? 35?
38. 38. Yeah. So according to Jim, I'm still a child.
You're still a child.
And you just missed that cut just a little bit.
Yeah. I'm 51. 50. Yeah. And Sarah and I are next week are celebrating our 31st wedding anniversary.
Oh wow.
So 31 years, long time.
Oh, here you go. This will make you feel even better. You guys have been married almost as long as I've been alive. Cheers to that, guys.
Cheers to that. All right. And of course, being a former serviceman, I want to raise my glass and thank all those who have served and who are currently serving in the U.S. military services, protecting our freedoms. Thank you for your service. Cheers to you. And I hope you guys are all able to return safely back to your families very soon. And Chris, why don't you go ahead and raise a toast to our sponsors?
Absolutely. We want to raise a glass to our sponsors. At the forefront of the craft beer movement, Brewer Shirts was one of the first to create apparel that celebrates the art of brewing and the love of fine beer. Never too trendy, always comfortable, and offering affordable quality, they screen print their gear by hand in their studio using eco-friendly inks, materials, and processes. Visit their online store at brewershirts.com and use the coupon code TAPTHECRAFT2020 to receive 15% off full-priced items.
And you can find the beers and the links to the articles mentioned in the show on the show notes located on the show post at tapthecraft.com. If you'd like to follow us on social media, I can be found on Twitter, Instagram, and Untapped at Loose Screw. And Chris, how can our listeners follow you?
Real quick, Eric Gronley said, happy birthday, Chris, and happy anniversary, Denny. Happy
thank
holidays to all, and cheers. Guys, you can find me on Twitter, hardly ever, at Chris_McKenzie82, or you can find me on Untapped and Instagram at MCK1345. And, of course, you can find us on all things social, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and, of course, on our website, everything Tap the Craft. Website's tapthecraft.com, and you can find us there.
All right. It is last call. It's time to bring the show to a close. We want to thank you for downloading and listening to the show. We ask you to please tell a friend and, of course, subscribe on iTunes, Stitcher Radio, TuneIn, Google Play, CastBox, Podbean, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and now on Amazon Podcasts, or however you listen to your podcast. And as a reminder, we release a new show every 2 weeks. Now go out there and spread the good word of craft beer.
And Denny Stobbs, I see you signed on. Cheers, guys.
Cheers.